Today, we're going to talk about the ultimate guide to living in Southfield. Because whether you're thinking of moving to Southfield or you're already a resident, I want to either show you why this city could be your next perfect home or show you what you might be missing if you're already living in Southfield. This video is specifically for first-time home buyers, people looking to relocate, and even, again, people currently residing in Southfield, one of those beautiful neighborhoods in the city. The first thing I want to talk about is the different neighborhood and housing styles. I love Southfield for its diversity. As far as homes go, you can find tri-levels, quads, colonials, ranch-style homes, and the neighborhoods are just as diverse. You've got Northland Gardens right off of Northland, which is a hidden gem of itself that most people overlook, and I think it's a great place to go check out. You've got Cranbrook. It's a little further north of 696. Great neighborhood, very well established, and it being so close to 696 and Telegraph, you can get pretty much anywhere from right there. You've still got Southfield Gardens. You've got Latham Village inside of Southfield. You can't go wrong with almost any of these subdivisions because they give such a unique feel and a unique vibe. Let's dig a little deeper into the kind of homes that are in Southfield. You've got your mid-century ranches. That's a home built in the middle of the 1900s, 1950, 1960. These ranches are sprawling homes. Colonial homes, great for families. If you're looking for a home and you want everybody's room upstairs so you can entertain on that first floor, that's a great option. You've even got newer construction, and Southfield's really good with condos and townhomes as well. Now, when we talk about like the kind of properties that you've got in Southfield, let's talk about like the range of price that Southfield has to offer, because this is a very important thing when you're looking at what city you're going to move to. Southfield is great for first-time home buyers because you can find a house in Southfield for under $200,000 still. But if you're looking for a larger home or more established community, you also can find homes well over the $350,000, $400,000 price point. So it's great for any kind of home buyer. But I will say that Southfield is known for having higher than normal property taxes. And I say normal, I mean their millage rate is a little higher than other neighboring cities. What this means is you will have a slightly higher property tax rate when you move to Southfield than you would if you moved into, say, an Oak Park, right? But Southfield is so centrally located, they feel justified in their millage rate, and that's why it's set to where it's set at. The next thing we're going to talk about is schools and education. You do have a lot of public schools to choose from. You got Southfield Public Schools, the whole school system. You have the School of Arts in Southfield, which is a great choice in a public school for kids to go to. But you also have charter and private school options. Too many to name, and I would love to help you do some due diligence and some research on that if you're thinking of making the move. But that is a great option for people who don't want to utilize the public school system to go the charter or private route. Another school that I always mention, we actually have another video on this school, Lawrence Tech University is an underrated gem in Southfield. Plenty of engineers and architects go to Lawrence Tech and have amazing careers. Definitely something to check out if you or your kids or loved one is thinking of a field in the industry in that field. We can't have an ultimate guide to the city of Southfield and not talk about the over 775 acres of parkland. You've got Carpenter Lake, Ingle Nook Park, Beach Woods, and you've got one of my personal favorites, Pebble Creek Park in Southfield, because we have our client appreciation events there. You even have huge golf courses for those of us that love to golf. You've got Evergreen Hills, Beach Woods, walking and biking trails, dog parks. When it comes to the outdoorsy type, Southfield will not disappoint you in the least. You cannot do better than the city of Southfield for your parks and you're hanging out and getting that outdoors action in. You can't go to Southfield and pick a city to live in without talking about the shopping, the dining, and some of the restaurants. For Southfield, the dining experience is great. There are a lot of mom and pop restaurants, but you also have your commercial restaurants, your Fridays, Big Boys. You have the staples of the community, but you also have Starters Bar and Grill, you have Bar 7, you have a lot of places that serve great food, and you can just go and hang out, right? So it's got a great nightlife as far as dining experiences go. And shopping, there's stores all over. Right outside of Cranbrook, there's a shopping mall right on Southfield Road. You can find furniture stores, you can find clothing stores, all in one plaza. And that's just one example of a place to shop in Southfield. And there's so many local coffee spots. For those of us that are tired of Starbucks, you can find a coffee spot if you just throw a rock in Southfield. I want everybody watching to take a second, like and subscribe to the channel. We want to make sure that we can tell you everything going on in Southfield and the neighboring communities. But before we get done here, I want to talk about the future of Southfield. They've got great revitalization projects, the biggest one being Northland Mall. Now, we have a ton of videos to keep you up to date on what's going on, so I'm not going to talk about it too much here, but please check the channel out and check out our Northland Mall updates. What they're doing there is nothing short of spectacular. Another thing we're seeing in the future of Southfield is already happening now because of its great parks, its great restaurants, and the size of homes. It's becoming increasingly popular for young families and professionals. What this means is if you're thinking of making a move to Southfield, you probably want to make it sooner rather than later because we're already seeing price points increase. For those of you already in Southfield, you want to take a look at that equity you have in your property and see if there's any way you can utilize that because your homes are becoming worth more and more every single day. Not only are we seeing the growth on the residential side of real estate, Southfield is booming when it comes to business growth. And that's because it's the major hub in Metro Detroit for office space. Some of the biggest companies in Metro Michigan call Southfield home. That also helps property values because when you have a lot of businesses growing, they're doing a lot of hiring, and you don't want to drive 30 minutes to work. So the first thing you do when you get hired by one of these businesses, you move to Southfield. And the more we have that, the more we see price points rising, which is great for homeowners. But for my first-time home buyers, you want to get in the game early so you can take advantage of this equity growth. As always, I'm here for any of your real estate needs, Southfield or surrounding areas. Please, if you have anything you'd like us to add to our upcoming videos, leave a comment below, and I'll catch you guys soon.